Okay, I finished my cover, and the rest of the video will be showing you how I do that. I want to welcome you to my channel. I appreciate your likes and your subscribes. And if you have any questions, I'll try to answer them. Like I said, I'm not doing tutorials. I'm just showing you how I make my projects a little bit. They're not perfect. I don't pretend to be perfect. Lots of flaws. I had to rip out a lot, but it was still fun to do. So anyway, thank you for watching again, and stay tuned. You'll see the rest in the rest of the video. Okay, I'm back. I've cut out some bias binding. There's lots of tutorials out there to tell you exactly how to cut out your bias binding. But I've already got this ready to sew on here on these pieces. All four. And now I'm getting ready to stitch my long strips of bias binding together. I didn't do continuous bias binding this time. My piece of fabric wasn't big enough for that. So I'll be back and try to show you how I've progressed a little bit further along with my project after I get all of this ready. Just thought I'd show you a little bit of my stitching of putting my binding on my little pieces here. Okay, well, I will finish doing what I've got attached to the rest of my pieces, and I'll be back. Okay, I've got one side stitched together. I think you can see that. I've got my red bias tape here. I'm going to put it around this outer edge. I had this side stitched, but I had to rip it out because my bobbin thread nested, and so I went in earlier and I cleaned out all around my bobbin. There wasn't a whole lot of lint in there, but we'll see if that's what was causing the nesting. Anyway, I'm going to stitch around here. Then when I get through, I've got my bias binding. I've got to press it. It's 2-inch, so I'm going to press it in half, and then I'm going to press each side over. So I will press it in half, and then I will press it toward the middle, and then I will put it around this edge. And so on the other side, this side won't have that trim. It's just going to look it will just look, you know, it'll just be plain on the edge. When I get through. But anyway, that's my progress so far. I test fitted it last night before I had to take out those stitches. It's going to fit. It's going to fit really good. I'm going to be happy with it. So anyway, I'll be back when I get a little bit more progress done. Okay, I've got my binding done on this one end. So I still have to do this end. So now I am trying to create my other piece, my binding strip. I did cut this fabric on the bias. So I'm just pressing it right now in half. You have to be careful, don't burn your fingers. I have a bias binding tool, but it's for making smaller binding than this, so I can't use it for this project. I'll have to see if I can get a larger one at some future date. Okay, so I've got my bias binding full pressed in half, so now I'm going to fold one side over toward the middle. Press that down. Okay, I'll be back. I'm going to finish pressing this, and then I will sew it on, and then I'll show you my progress. I still have to make my binding for the bottom. Okay, I got that piece of binding all pressed, and so now I'm using my Wonder Clips to pin it around this serged edge on the end of my cover. So when I get this all on, I will stitch it down, and then I've got to go over and cut out my strips for the hem down at the bottom. Those are going to be cut on straight fabric. I'm not going to cut them on bias. It's down at the bottom, so it really doesn't need to be biased. This needed to be biased because of the curved edge. That makes it work in there much better. So when I get this all finished, I'll come back and show it to you. Okay, my cover is all finished. This is going to be the main side. I do have a boo-boo on the other side that I noticed. I didn't turn my little chickens the right side up. Shouldn't admit my mistakes, right? But anyway, but if I do want to put that side out, all I have to do is turn it over. Now on this end, which I could face out forward, toward my cabinet. The little chickens are facing the right way. But they decided to run upside down on this side. I'm not going to worry about it. It's for me. It's one of those things. So anyway, it's complete. I will go and put it on my mixer. And now I don't have to just cover my mixer with just a kitchen towel. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. Have a great day, everyone.